Okay, good afternoon. We have today with us Jenn, who is the manager owner of the Yoga Room SF in San Francisco. And she's going to give us an overview of the different classes offered at the Yoga Room, right? What do you do at the Yoga Room, Jenny?
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me, first of all, and thank you to all the viewers. Well, the yoga room is more than just yoga. We have, of course, yoga. We have also really a lot of great classes for women. We have a Wow Women's Circle, which is for women who want to really share and connect to their authentic divine feminine. So it's a great safe space to share and connect with other women who are strong and really want to be very honest with what their heart is reaching out for them to become their most amazing self. So our next Wild Woman Circle is actually a workshop. Normally it has a topic and a theme and people really talk and share, and I serve as the facilitator. But we also do a lot of workshops. So this Tuesday we'll be doing, we're in January right now.
It's every 2 weeks, right?
It's actually the first Tuesday of the month, except for we're January 2016. We're having it Tuesday the 12th.
Okay,
And it's from 7 to 9 p.m.
okay,
And we'll be doing a vision board, arts and crafts circle.
okay,
So we've had those workshops before. They're a lot of fun.
okay.
We also have a lot of other teachers. We have a yoga for the chakras, which
Can you tell us what is a vision board?
oh, yeah, that's a great question. A vision board is really so allows the person who makes it to be very creative in expressing what their heart desires in a visual format.
Okay.
So you can cut out images normally from magazines, but
Okay.
any image that you have, you can even draw the image. You can use words, you can use phrases, and then you kind of make a collage with all of these images on a board. And from there, you look at it. So
Okay.
what the mind focuses on and looks at expands. It's like, if you focus on the color red, you're going to notice it more. Even though there's been the equal amount of red in your
Okay.
environment,
Okay.
now you start noticing red, 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 red.
Okay.
So when you put on, for example, I looked at my vision board that I made last year.
Did any come
A
true?
lot of it did.
Really?
Actually, I put a fridge of a lot of healthy food because I want to have an abundance of healthy food. And one of the images was of green grapes.
Oh.
And then in September, I went to France. And during that time, I ate a lot of green grapes, actually.
Okay.
So I looked at the vision board and I was like, wow, I ate a lot of fruit, obviously, all year. But the green grapes kind of made me think of my time in France.
Okay.
And my cousin Jonathan, it's so funny. I said, "What's your favorite fruit?" And he said, "Ah, les raisins verts." So I saw the vision board. I said, "Oi, isn't that interesting? Of all the fruits, that's what I put on my vision board." I also had dance making, theater making, and maybe we'll talk about that also in a little bit. I also am a choreographer, and I started after kind of a break in my dance practice, taking class. I started taking again. So that manifested as well. So if you just kind of really say it, like even if it's just one statement, like I'm going to do this.
Is it
And,
true you have to visualize it often so that it comes true?
well, I think verbally saying the words is a very powerful way. And then when you look at it, that's why it's an art piece that
It's
you put in
visual.
your home. And when you look at it, it's going to just subconsciously enter your
Register.
register. Exactly. So you know, I think faith is a part of it, and then just whatever you focus on expands. So, it's amazing. I put a picture of Alma one time on a vision board, and then I know she has a ashram in San Ramon, but I ended up going that year.
That's
So
awesome.
I don't go every year. So that was interesting. I look back. I said, "Oh, I went to Alma." So there's yeah, I think if you really put it out there and you really have a lot of conviction, it's like anything. It's like joining the gym. Joining the gym doesn't necessarily make you do anything, but if you join the gym and actually attend classes and, eat healthy, then maybe that'll have an effect. Same thing. If you just make a vision board, put it in a drawer, and you think it's hokey pokey, of course it's not going to work. But when you're making it, you believe it, and you're really focused, and you put it up, and you look at it, and you continuously, then it's like seeds
so
that
it's
you're
good to do
watering
once
your
a year?
plant. Maybe even twice a year, 3 times a
Okay.
year. It takes some time. So when you have time, when you feel called, the new year, even though in astronomy, it doesn't actually have any importance within, January 1st has importance of making something new. In our society, we make it important. So it's
Okay.
a time when people set all these important goals.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important to also not have too many expectations on yourself, because the whole point is to be in the moment and not to think too much about the future or the past, but just be very present and accepting of what is now.
Okay.
So that's also important. Even though you have these goals and you put it out there, you gotta let it go too.
Okay, sounds good. I like that. So, the other part of the yoga room, obviously, with the word yoga, is that there is a yoga class once a week.
There's more than once a week. You guys should check out the yogaroomsf.com. We have a lot of great blogs. We have the schedule. We have some great classes. So we have visualization, meditation, relaxation, nam yoga, yoga for protection. We have one for a specific class for the feet, where we're using some yoga for dancers or gyrokinesis as well. And then yoga for the chakras. I think I mentioned that as well. So, and then there's Shakti dance, which is not yoga, but it has some dance in it, which is a fun class.
Okay, so do you like this path that you have taken?
Yeah, I think any path is one of discipline and has its ups and downs. So it's not all roses, but of all the things to do, I couldn't imagine anything else at this time and this point in my life. So I feel very blessed to be able to continue to learn, to do something where I'm growing,
Great. So, so every 2 months or every month you decide of a topic.
For the Wild Women Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And now I understand that 2016 you are introducing a men's circle.
That's right. I'm so excited for that, because the Wild Women Circle is women, and now we have the Divine Masculine Circle. So just like the Wild Women Circle, I didn't really know what it would be when I started. I just kind of organically felt called to do it.
Okay.
The Divine Masculine Circle. So we have rotating facilitators as well, probably rotating topics, and it's for men to connect with their divine masculine.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that.
Manager, will you be allowed in that room?
I guess I could go in.
Okay. Okay.
That's what's part of being the manager. You just can do what you want.
Okay.
But I mean, it might be supposed to be a sacred space for men to connect with. Who knows what what's in their hearts about all that.
But it's interesting for women to find out, right?
Sure. I was watching TV the other night, and there was this movie. It's called What Women Want, and Mel Gibson plays the main character, and he can read women's thoughts.
Oh.
And they're always kind of criticizing themselves and thinking and worrying, and and that is, I mean, I know women, after especially doing all these women's circles and clients, and even ourselves, like, we do kind of think, and we're not good enough and all this. Like, that's a very common woman outlook. And so wouldn't it be interesting if there was a movie where female could read into men's minds and what do men want? So I think maybe that's what the divine.
Make a movie. This is your chance.
There you go.
This is your chance to spy on them.
There you go. And so what are men thinking? I mean, they say men are more simple, right? And they think more about sex, and they just want to find a solution, and they're more quiet. Like, they don't need to talk and talk and talk. Women like to talk, whereas men, it's like, okay, let's just what it needs to get done. And in terms of energy, like a male is more of a vector, like a line, and a female is more like a circle that holds a lot.
Okay.
So, there's always exceptions, but, maybe the men's circle, who knows? But anyone who's drawn to a divine masculine circle, they probably are more open to talking and being sensitive and finding what their divine is. I mean, that's a very big word. So
Okay.
it might not be attracting
So,
a certain kind of male. Yeah.
so to go back to the yoga room,
Yeah.
which you manage, and
Yeah.
people find different things in yoga. Some to lose weight, some to get in shape, some to get centered, some to relax. What is the real purpose of yoga?
Well, the purpose of yoga is to be very aware and neutral and not to really be thinking about, to not really be having so many thoughts,
Yeah.
to just really allow the mental to be very quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So that the mental activity is very, very quiet. And if, there is mental activity, that you are aware. So bringing in the witness. So that is really the purpose of
How do you
yoga.
quiet the mind?
It takes a lot. It's really not something that,
Suppose you get off work at 6
Yeah.
and you're worried about something at work.
right.
How can you get it off your mind so you can finally relax?
That's really good. Well, I find just sitting still is very good. I mean, your posture is very important. The breath is a great tool, just, calming the mind with
Okay.
long, deep breathing. But basically, the mind to have gotten to the point of having worries, there's just so many things that have caused what they call, I guess, some form of suffering, some form of expectation, all of these things. So to really clear the mind and to get to that point, it takes a lot of time, a lot of discipline, and it's very hard to do in our society where there's so much noise and technology and distraction. So you really, the path of a yogi is really to almost isolate and, not be in relationships, not partake of the worldly world. So, what we can do within the yoga room is to just do it a little bit. But you're never going to really, to actually really quiet the mind to that extent is...
You shouldn't have a to-do list. Right. Like I have to do this. Oh my God! When I get off this yoga room, I have to do the laundry quick.
Yeah, they say like when you're in Shavasana, you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner after yoga class. Like that's what people are thinking about. No, if you're having thoughts, a lot of teachers always say like imagine clouds and you're observing them. Like it's normal that you're going to have maybe a thought, right? Like if someone tells you don't think, you're going to think. But to just start to be aware that
Contact with nature, with the stream, with something like that.
something like that could help you, yeah. Definitely nature is
Quiet at some point.
is in my opinion such a quick way to find God, because God is in nature for me.
Okay.
You can see the divine when you look at a beautiful sunset, or just how it is when you see beautiful nature,
Then
landscapes.
you forget everything.
Well, you just are in humble gratitude to
Nature.
the awesomeness that created all this, and for me that's like the divine creator. But yeah, when you get outside of yourself and service, there are many ways to do that.
Well, that's great. So you have two goals. You want to produce a yoga video this year and a dance video and a juggling video, right?
My goals?
You started on a project with the juggling, and then now you want to do also a yoga one. I don't know. Did you finish the juggling one?
What's your question? I'm not clear. Sorry. What?
Tell us what your goals are in terms of what you want to produce this year.
Produce in terms of the video projects?
Yeah.
So I've produced 4 full-length theater, dance, circus productions, and then a couple of smaller ones, like just vignettes or one-song things. So my background really is in theater. And then I incorporated some modern dance, and I have a love for juggling, so I also incorporated that. So it's a very mixed fusion art form. And then basically I decided to endeavor in my first film. So I thought I would call it a music video just because I wanted
Do you have music?
well, to make it short.
Oh, okay,
To
okay.
make it short. And so I've been in, we've been doing some shoots. You've been, a part of the set, as
Is
you
it
know.
done? That's it?
No, it's not done.
No, I mean, is that, do you have more segment to this?
Yeah, you know that. We're going to do one right after this. So yeah, it's still working. And, it's really the way I look at it, since it's my first film, and anyone that, as I'm learning, it's really a learning process, because the first few films is just getting them out there. They're not necessarily going to be great. I still am learning about. It could be great, thanks. But, I'm just kind of learning. So it's a great.
How long is your goal for this first film?
You mean how long will the film be? I actually wanted it to be like 3 minutes, so very short. Okay. So to shoot a whole bunch of different scenes in different locations, and then have a quick edit.
Oh, okay.
So that was my vision, like a lot of quick shots. So I still have, as you know, Golden Gate Bridge. It's been very cold and rainy here in San Francisco. So
it was on standstill for a while?
Yeah, we haven't shot anything for a good 6 weeks. So, yeah, a couple more outdoor shoots, and then the editing process. And, that'll be the first music video.
Okay.
So then we'll see. But it's a lot of fun, It's definitely a lot of fun. I love being on set,
All right.
So it's really cool. And then in terms of music video, so what we could do maybe in a minute, I watch a lot of, I check emails, and there's a lot of, I guess, video clips. So I write a blog. I've been writing a blog for a little over a year now. And, not everyone likes to read.
So they rather see.
So a lot of people would rather maybe see a little clip. So, for example, I was just thinking, I might even look at the blog to see what all the pointers were, because I do these top 10s. Okay. So, for example, I could do the top 10 ways for travel, to travel well, because a lot of people travel for work.
Okay.
And it's exhausting. So, we could do a little video clip of top 10, ways to travel well. For work, and people can watch that the next time I send out a newsletter. Mm-hmm. So you can go to theyogaroomsf.com, put in your name and email, you receive my newsletter. I write a blog about every 2 weeks, but I'm also going to start adding in video clips. I think we did one for self-love.
Okay.
So we did one for ways to love yourself. So instead of just reading, the workshop. So instead of only reading about ways to love yourself, you can just watch a quick clip. Or, I did a top 10 or a blog on insomnia. So we could do a little bit, just a snippet to help people. So, they're just checking their email. They don't want to read a whole blog, but they might be waiting for something or killing time or in between a Netflix show. And they're like, okay, I'll watch this. Okay. It's 3 minutes. Boom.
And it's easy.
And it's easy. And, our culture, fortunately or unfortunately, is just getting more and more like... They don't want to do anything. There's like yoga online, like
comfort.
They just think you can get results without putting in the time and effort. So, I guess. Anyway,
that's great.
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway.
So today is after this gonna be juggling or dance?
Well, I didn't bring my juggling materials,
so it's gonna be dance.
So we could find some. I saw some apples in the kitchen.
So we can do something?
We could do something, but no, I think we'll just dance maybe.
Okay.
I am a juggler, but I wouldn't say I'm the best juggler on the planet. I'm more of I have a love for juggling.
Yeah.
So,
so we'll do a little bit of dance.
I think we'll do a little bit of improv dance, and then from that, maybe we'll find some good, just even a little section, and then we'll put that in the clip, and hopefully we'll have a nice background on the roof.